Hi, friends. Welcome to the Sis Live Your Best Life podcast show. I'm your host, Denise, and I'm just a girl who had big hopes and dreams and decided to chase after them with everything I had in me, and I radically changed my life. And guess what? I'm just like you. Anyone can change their life, and that's what this show is all about. So, what are you waiting for, sis? Are you ready to change your life? Let's do this. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Sis Live Your Best Life podcast show. On today's episode, I want to talk to you for just a few minutes about changing your life and how one decision can change your life when you change just one decision. And I'll talk more about what I mean here in just a moment. But 6 months ago, if you're new to the show, 6 months ago, I was in a life that I was really unhappy living. And I was lost and I was confused and I was scared. And I knew I was made for more, but I wanted something more for my life, but just didn't know where to start. So, can anybody here relate to that? You want more, you're made for more, you just don't know where to start. And I think that's common with a lot of people. We just tend to get overwhelmed at the thought of changing our lives because typically we have a lot of things that we want to accomplish. We have a lot of dreams, we have a lot of goals, we have a lot of things, and we want to accomplish all the things. But when we think about that, changing everything all at once, it just takes over or consumes us with overwhelm. At least it does for me. And so the good news is you don't have to change anything all at once. You can change your life with one decision. And that one decision is just deciding that you're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, no matter what it is that it takes, until your life looks different, until your life is different with one thing that you want. So I want you to think for just a moment about the one thing that you want to change in your life that you want more than you want to breathe your own air. What is it? Do you want a new job? Do you want to move to a new place? Do you want to lose weight, get healthy, get out of an unhealthy relationship, start saving money, be able to go on vacation more, be able to spend more time with your kids? What is it that you want? And then what is it? Think about a few things that you need to do to make that happen. When I decided to change my life, I had to figure out what I wanted. Like I said, I really didn't know what I wanted. I was in an unhappy place. So I had to figure out what it was that I really wanted. And so for me, I decided I wanted out of my unhealthy marriage and I wanted to be closer to my daughter and her family in Las Vegas. Now, I lived in Arkansas, which is on the other side of the country. So change for me meant that I had to leave everything I knew behind and move 1,200 miles across the country. And it was scary, but it was the best thing I ever did. I had to decide if I was going to stay where I was for the rest of my life and be unhappy, or if I was going to step out into the unknown and go after the life I wanted. And I want you to think about that for just a minute. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. So in 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, if you don't change anything in your life right now, what's your life going to look like? Okay, are you going to be happy with that? I wasn't. So you have to know what it is that you want, and then you have to decide that you're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes until your life looks different. The decision that I changed was to do whatever it took for as long as it took to get out of my unhealthy marriage and get myself to Las Vegas. Even though at the time I didn't know what that was going to look like, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know where the resources were going to come from, the money, the expenses, everything that I needed. I didn't know how any of it was going to happen. But I decided that I was going to do whatever it took for as long as it took until my life looked different. So when I say one decision can change your life, if you change one decision, that one decision needs to be that you're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes until your life is different. Because once you know what you want, that's the key to having a decided heart and getting the life that you want. So, like I said, change one decision in your life. It can literally change your whole life. Literally. All you have to decide to do is that you're going to change one decision from an I don't know if I can do this to an I'm going to do this no matter what. Let me repeat that. All you have to do is decide you're going to change that one decision from an I don't know if I can do this into I'm going to do this no matter what. And then just go get the life you want. And I know that sounds so simple, but y'all, it really is that simple. And is it hard? Yes. Is it scary? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely. It is absolutely worth pursuing your dreams and creating the life that you want. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of the line, and at the end of your life, you are the one who has to live your life. You are the one who is in control of how it's lived. No one else has the power to determine that for you. No one else's opinions can determine your value, your worth, or your ability unless you let them. Let me say that again, because I think a lot of times we get so wrapped up in what other people think about us that we let that stop us from going after the life we want. So let me repeat that. No one else's opinions can determine your value, your worth, and your ability unless you let them. So stop letting other people stand in your way of going after your dreams. It's been 6 months since I made that one decision that changed everything for me. And I have not regretted one single moment of my journey, not one. Now, have there been times when things didn't go as planned and things came up that were hard and things that were not quite what I expected? Sure. But I didn't regret any of that because one decision changed my life, and it changed it so profoundly that those things that came up, all of a sudden, they didn't really matter anymore if it didn't work out or wasn't what I expected. So when you change one decision, it can literally change your life. So don't let the naysayers and the dream stealers stop you. Don't let yourself stop you, and don't let your circumstances stop you. And just go after the life you want. One decision can change your life when you change one decision. That's all I have today for you, friends. I would love to hear how you're changing your life. So please use the message button to send me a voice message. And also be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And we'll talk again soon. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I am so glad to be on this journey with you. I would love to know how you're chasing your dreams, so be sure to send me a message and let me know. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss another episode. And until next time, sis, go and live your best life.